guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, November the 14th, 2025. Welcome to another eBay video. Tonight I'm going to be discussing some of the incidents that I ran into during the week on eBay. I'm going to talk about another unfair chargeback, another unfair bad feedback from a bad buyer. I'm going to talk about crazy cancellations, being promised immediate payment and being paid nothing, and some eBay nag messages that are just getting to me a little bit over the top, as well as some other hopefully interesting eBay topics you guys will find useful. As always, I'm Crazy New York Driver, 27-year eBay seller, and I'm going to keep selling on eBay because it's the best place to make money, bar none. I feel the worst one is Amazon. I feel sorry for the Amazon sellers. They get treated like garbage. I will never sell on Amazon. It is such a corrupt platform. But anyway, here I am, going off on a tangent. Let's talk about the week in eBay. So, how was your week? It was not a super busy week for me. I had a couple of decent days, and I had some slow days as well. I want to talk firstly about a chargeback I received with a very unusual twist. So what happened is this. About 2 weeks ago, I sold a set of hubs for a Mercury Grand Marquis. Now, any of you guys who watch my videos with any regularity know that everybody that drives a Mercury Grand Marquis is over 80 years old. Now, there's a few of you out there that commented last time and said, Joe, I drive a Mercury Grand Marquis. I bought it used and it's clean. And I'm only 45 or 40. But you bought it from an old timer. Okay, face the facts. Joe's always right. So, here's what happened. I shipped them out in a large box, heavy box, because they were heavy wire wheels. Tracking shows he got the item, no problem. All of a sudden, the other day, I get a chargeback. Don't recognize transaction. That in itself is not unusual. But what's unusual is he's asking for $74.10. He paid $115 plus $40 shipping for a total of $155. What in the heck is this about? I think, and I can't prove it, I'm thinking maybe there was another charge on his card he didn't recognize, and for some reason he went to eBay thinking it was me. Now, the only person that would do something so stupid and ludicrous is somebody 85 years old. So, I Googled his name and address, and at first I was a little shocked because let's say the guy's name is John Smith. The only name that came up was Mary Smith, age 55. No, I said, something's not right here. No way would a 55-year-old person do this. I know this for a fact. That's not his wife. I did a little more checking. It's his daughter. His daughter's 55. He's got to be 85. Just like I said, cute Joey knows the layout of eBay. Please trust me. All right? So, I answered the chargeback as best I could. I'm pretty sure eBay will protect me. But eBay really needs to kick every one of these people off the platform who claim they don't recognize the charge when it shows clearly that he purchased the item from us on eBay and the tracking shows we shipped it to him and he received it. This is a very common problem lately. What's your opinion? I want to hear it. Crazy cancellation this week. Now, I'm used to cancellations where a buyer will, let's say, either do a write out, buy it now, or send me a best offer and I'll accept it. And immediately he wants to cancel because eBay showed him the same item cheaper. I don't like it. It's not right, but I'm used to it. So what happened the other day, a guy from California sends me a best offer of $30 on a $50 item. I'll tell you what it was because it's important you know. 2 used Nissan headlights. Right away, warning bells start going off. Here's the reason why. The guy has a feedback of 1. All right? He's all the way out in California and he's buying used headlights from a guy all the way on the East Coast. Me? Certainly there's got to be someplace closer than that. Right? Plus, he's only offering me $30 out of $50. And it's a dog item. I still knocked him right down. I went with my gut. A minute later, he offers me $35. So I said to myself, this is a dog item. I have no problem selling it to him for $35. However, something just doesn't seem right here. Why would someone from California want to buy 2 used headlights from a guy all the way over here on the East Coast? But eBay told me I'd be paid right away. I accepted the offer. I was paid right away. Within 2 minutes, cancellation request. And what really bummed me out was that they didn't require him to give a reason like found better price, wrong size, or whatever. They did not require any reason. It was just accept or decline. Now, I had not yet boxed anything. I hadn't printed any labels. So, of course, I was going to accept it. I also blocked him. But I'm thinking what happened is after he made the purchase, eBay showed him the same item cheaper. But what got me mad was that he made not 1, but 2 offers. That shows intent. And he still wanted to cancel. Continuing on with the wonderful California folk, California people are very unpredictable. They can be very nice, excellent people, or they can be a little bit, difficult. This week, the dial was set to difficult. I had an interesting one happen the other day. A guy sent me a best offer of $30 on a $50 item. The item was something for a Ford Taurus, 2000 to 2005. The guy's feedback, 1. California, bang, knocked him right down. So maybe around a couple of hours later, I had some time to kill. I went to his feedback. He only had 1. I wanted to see what it said. And what happened was, a few months ago, he bought a Ford Taurus hubcap from another seller. But the one he bought from the other seller was for a 2006. Not 2000 to 2005 like Joe has, but a 2006. And he left the guy a not so favorable review saying that the item was overpriced, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then I notice his feedback has jumped to 2. I check, and he just, within the last 5 minutes, purchased another 2006 Taurus hubcap, like the one he bought 6 months ago from the other seller. My question to you, what do you think would have happened had I accepted his offer? Mine did not match what he bought previously and what he bought after he sent me the offer. At the very least, if I would have seen any money from the guy, he would have returned them because they weren't the right ones. This is concerning. But again, to be fair, welcome to the world of eBay Motors. If you sell on eBay Motors, this will happen to you. I don't care what parts you sell. In fact, I'll be honest, I get off relatively easy compared to some of my constituents. You should see some of the postings that they put up on Facebook, some of the text messages they send me. It's just absolutely crazy. Now I'm going to move on to an unfair, neutral feedback. I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to use my phone to save time if you don't mind. I sold a cheap alloy wheel center cap for $18 plus the shipping. Buyer gets the item and proceeds to leave me the following feedback, which I'm going to read, and then I'm going to hold up to the camera. Quality and condition were just as described. For me, the value came when my customer found the missing part of her hubcap. It will definitely improve the appearance of the old hubcap. So if you don't understand what he's saying one of his customers asked him to order the alloy wheel center cap from me because she lost it. He ordered it, but by the time he got it, she found the old one in the trunk of her car. And he's leaving cute Joey neutral feedback for that. Can you believe that? What a piece of human mierda. Human mierda. I immediately blocked him, and I requested a call back from eBay. The representative looked at it and said, how on God's green earth can this person think that this is your fault? You did nothing wrong. Immediately. Identical. He removed the feedback. Okay? While I have you, and we're doing screenshots, I want you to see the most egregious cheapskate I got. I have an item listed. The guy offered me $10 for an item. And if I would have taken it, it would have been 81.82% off. 81% off. I'm not kidding you. Look. And look what I said. I'm blocking you, cheapskate, and you can't do a thing about it. Okay? Who in their right mind? That's like if I have an item $95 and he's offering me about $10. There are some sick people out there. Most of my best offers are coming in at approximately 30 to 40% of my asking price. That's how bad it is. I mean, it doesn't aggravate me when it's 30 or 40% of what I want. I just decline them. But when it's 10%, yeah, I can tell you right now, I'm thinking I'm aggravated. I was also aggravated when I got up Thursday morning and I saw I had a best offer of $119 for an item that was $130. And eBay said if I accepted it, I'd be paid right away. I accepted it. Never saw a dollar. Not only was I not paid right away, I wasn't paid at all. This is criminal. And it's been an ongoing problem for many months. And like I said in last week's video, they can sure change the promoted listing fee and double dip within 2 months, but they refuse to do anything about immediate payment and make people actually pay for the items that they're sending these best offers on. If they try to charge his card and there's not enough money, it should lock up his account. Whoop, call customer service. All right? Fund your card. This is your first warning. Then if it happens again, you get a month suspension. It's ridiculous. I don't think I'm being over the top critical here, guys. A deal's a deal. We're all adults. Everyone watching this video is 18 years old or older. We're adults. We're responsible for our own actions. And I am sick of being told I'm going to be paid right away, only to see not a dollar. Now, lately, I've been getting spammed by eBay with 2 particular messages every week, nonstop. The most egregious one is what they call either eBay Capital or eBay Funding. Every week in my inbox is a message from eBay telling me I qualify for an eBay loan. I don't need it. eBay is an e-commerce site where we make money buying and selling. It's not a bank. I don't know why they continue to do this, I was at a meeting 6 months ago where they said they were going to stop doing it, but you can see how that worked out. And the second message I get is express payouts where they want to charge $2 to get your money immediately. I don't need it and I don't want it. Once a week is plenty for me. I don't need money coming into the account every day of the week. It's ridiculous. I'm happy with once a week. So yeah, are you guys also getting those nag messages from eBay about express payouts and the funding where they want to loan you money? I don't know, man. I just don't know what's going on about that. This week, the weather was absolutely awful. In fact, it was the worst week of weather I can remember probably for the last year. Cloudy every day, raw, windy, on and off rain. I couldn't take any pictures. Yesterday in the afternoon, we had maybe 5 to 8 minutes worth of sunlight on and off, where there'd be a break in the clouds. And I was literally out there looking at the sky, watching for when that hole would line up, and I would take pictures. And what surprised me was later at night, one of my eBay friends texted me and said, "Hey, Joe," he lives in Pennsylvania, by the way. He said, "Hey, Joe, I got out for 5 minutes today and I was able to take pictures." So he totally understands what it's like to live in the Northeast. Absolutely horrible. On the positive side, since I wasn't able to do any of my eBay pictures or listings or anything this week, couldn't even go to the junkyard, I spent the time scanning old pictures I took when I was young of things in New York City, and I made 2 videos. One about serious accidents on the Cross Bronx, and one about the deteriorating infrastructure of New York City in the 1980s. Both videos seem to have gone over very well with the people. They seem to like them, so I'm going to continue to crank out more of them. I'm sure I'll be able to do that because the weather's so goddamn awful here. I'll be inside and I'll just be able to crank them out. In addition, I'll probably do that at the end of the month. I'll make a few more of those videos. And then starting December, hopefully I can start doing my on-location videos in New York City if the weather holds out. But again, it's all weather related. I'm not going out on cold, cloudy days. If it's a cloudy, warm day, that's fine. If it's a sunny, cold day, that's fine. But not cold and cloudy because they don't mix for cute Joey. You may remember in last week's video, I told you the story about how a bad buyer sent back these alloy wheel center caps broken. And I made a deduction of $20, which was half of the $40 fee. And I showed you the screenshot on camera. Do you know that that return is still open? Because eBay gives these people 15 days, I believe it is, 15 days working days to acknowledge they received the refund, or until the refund will automatically time out. This is yet another bad loophole in the eBay return system. I'm telling you something. I hate to beat a dead horse, but it upsets me greatly, that they can make some changes so quickly, like double dipping on the promoted listings fee, whereas other issues that are severely unfair and hurting sellers that have been going on for 8 or more years are not even brought up in discussion. Sad. And leaving feedback 60 days after receiving an item is ludicrous. No other online venue allows 60 days. All right? I think Etsy I think Etsy allows only maybe 3 to 7 days or something like that. I'm not sure. But it's eBay. We love you. But please get out of the cave. It's 2025. Do you realize you have the power to make change? Make it easy on the sellers a little bit. If you want to jack us up on the fees, I get it. You, and I mean eBay, you haven't seen me crying and moaning too loud about the fees getting jacked up. So for that, I think you should at least help us out with these returns and close up some of these loopholes. It's only fair, all right? Don't make it a double-edged sword. Help us out a little, for Christ's sake. Please. I'm a 27-year eBay seller. I've seen the good, I've seen the bad. There's still plenty of money to be made on eBay, but please close up these return loopholes. Okay? All right. As I said earlier, it's not been a very busy eBay week. It's been a slow week. Not a lot has even happened. Hold it up. Everybody stop. Me and my big mouth. Nothing ever happens. It's been a very slow week. I don't have much to tell you. Holy Christ on the cross in Brooklyn. You guys have no idea. I made this video. I was editing it. And in the short time I'm working on it, all hell broke loose. Let me explain what happened in the span of less than 1 hour. I get a message from a buyer saying his item arrived broken. He provided pictures to substantiate his claim, and I have no problem accepting the return because he's telling the truth. UPS manhandled it and broke the item. All right? First, he said he didn't want to return it. He wanted a replacement. He wanted me to send him out 2 more items. I said, no. I said, I will pay the shipping both ways. I find that's the best way to do it. Full return, I pay the shipping. Finito, right? Not his fault. But yeah, I said, just open a return and be sure to select item arrived damaged and I'll pay the shipping. He says, okay, no sweat. 2 minutes go by, clunk, return request. But it's not this guy with the Ford. It's a 73-year-old fossil who bought 4 Cadillac hubs from me, and his reason is just didn't like it. He's going to ship them back from California. That's probably going to be $40 each way he's paying just because he didn't like it. I took a look at his feedback, and he loves leaving negative feedback for people. I don't know what's going to happen with me, but at least he's paying the shipping both ways. Okay, as soon as I digest that, 2 minutes later, return request. Oh, good, it's the guy with the Ford. No, it's a guy with a Chevy. He bought some hubs from me, and this one I'm going to show you because this, you want to talk about stupidity. In the late 50s, Chevrolet made their wheels and hubcaps different than any other car. The backings were different because the wheels had little nubs on the inside. It was a very, very stupid idea. And it only was the late 50s, more or less. And thankfully they stopped doing that. But every now and then you'll get some turd that doesn't understand you got to have the right wheels on your car. And you certainly can't put these hubs on a newer vehicle. Okay? So he selects as his reason, defective. I'm going to read what he wrote, and then I'm going to show you, because you've got to see this. The stupidity of people is sickening. Doesn't work or defective. He writes, they do not fit the rims correctly, fall off, just tried one, have purchased others and had the same issue. And he takes 2 pictures of the items I sent him, which means nothing. Now take a good look. What he's saying, in case you're not grasping this, is that he's bought these same items from other sellers and they don't fit his wheels. He doesn't quite get it. that he's got the wrong wheels on the car and he can't use these old 1950s hubcaps on a newer car. These people are so freaking stupid and uneducated. And he's going to keep buying them. He doesn't realize it's not the hubcaps that's at fault. It's the bird brain buyer that's at fault. They don't fit. They can't fit. They never will fit. Get it? Okay. Then, finally, the Ford guy, who was the original guy who got the broken items, opened a return request. So what happened to me is I had 3 returns in less than 1 hour. That is a new world's record for me. I checked my eBay return rate yesterday afternoon, and it was only at 3.20%, which I don't think is accurate. I think it's way higher than that. I think that's only for item not as described claims. So anyway, I just checked it again, and it hasn't increased at all, even though I just got 3 more returns against me. I should never have said to you that nothing has happened this week. It's been a quiet week. Boy, did I have to eat my words on that one. The beginning of the week was slow, but the end was absolutely torture for me. Jesus freaking Christ. This would drive anybody nuts. And I know some of you guys are sitting there shaking your head saying, oh, I'm glad I don't sell on eBay Motors. You know something? You're very lucky. I don't blame you one bit. Don't do it. Avoid it if you can. All the other categories, for the most part, are great. But Motors is going to drive anybody out of their skull. Now, let's get back to the video the way it was originally intended and my life story. Not a lot of money was made, but I don't expect to make a lot because of the time of year. So many stores are running ads for Christmas, and we haven't even had Thanksgiving yet. They really look to rush the season, and each year it starts earlier and earlier. That's what brought out the demise in the Hess toy trucks. Toy trucks used to be a huge commodity at Christmas time. Unbelievable. Now they're putting them out before Halloween, and nobody wants them. The whole market has gone out. They never sell out. I'm done. I've been done for years, and so have a lot of my collector friends. They screwed themselves. It's called gluttony. All right. I have some time, so I'm going to tell you guys a life story. And today I'm going to tell you my happiest memory from middle school in the 1970s. This is the one thing that I enjoyed the most about school in the 1970s. All right? The one incident, the one occurrence, you're about to hear it. Before I can actually tell you about the event itself, to properly appreciate it, I got to go start at the very beginning. From kindergarten to 4th grade, I was just a regular kid, a quiet kid, a shy kid. I came to school, got good marks, did my thing, didn't cause anybody any problems. You know, I was definitely not one of the more popular kids either. All right? That was kindergarten to 4th. 5th grade was a living hell. I'm telling you something, guys. If any teacher today in 2025 did what my 5th grade teacher did to us, and especially to me, that piece of human trash would be in jail, and rightly so. I don't want to make this video about that 5th grade teacher. I want to talk about something positive, but I'm leading up to something. This excuse for a woman would punch me right in the head if I didn't underline my fractions. I was always getting hit. She said I would wind up as a drunk. This is what she's telling a 10-year-old boy, that I'm going to wind up as a drunk in a bar, spending my whole time in a bar. And she hated just about all the boys. She wasn't too bad with the girls, but she hated almost all the boys. Used to call them retarded and all kinds of other things. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make was it was hell. I didn't want to go to school. which is horrible. So 6th grade came and we got a new teacher. All right, a brand new teacher to the school. Naturally, I'm going to refer to her as Miss Smith. M-I-S-S, Miss Smith. Okay? She was the nicest woman in the world. I think she was in her 20s. She was a hippie chick. She used to wear hippie clothes, like those really long coats and those big glasses like Elton John used to wear in the 70s. You know, purple glasses and a floppy hat on the side. It's easy to say I liked her right away. And those big wooden shoes with a huge heel like this. God, I really liked her. And I didn't realize it at the time, but my mom told me that I actually had my first crush on that 6th grade teacher. But anyhow, we didn't actually have her the whole year, because once the first day of school came, there was no 6th grade teacher to teach us. They couldn't find anybody, so we had a substitute. I'm not sure how long we had the substitute. I think we had several of them, if I remember correctly. Like one would last 2 weeks, then another one would come for a week, then another one would come for 2 weeks. Finally, one day, we get our new teacher. Nicest woman in the world. She was a professional artist, and she could really draw. And she was nice to everybody. She made learning fun. I enjoyed going to school. So did all the other kids. All of a sudden, for some weird reason I've never been able to figure out, I became one of the popular kids. I mean, it was like I went from hell to heaven that quick. Right? The only bug she ever got up her back was sometimes when something would happen that she didn't like, or if somebody stepped out of line, she would give us an insane amount of homework. And I'm talking 3 or 3.5 hours worth of homework. She was unmerciful to the point, on one occasion, a parent complained. A parent called up the principal, or went down there and complained, and the principal called the teacher on the carpet the next morning, and then we got yelled at. She wanted to know who it was that dimed her out, but nobody ever raised their hand. But I always had the suspicion it was a girl. Don't ask me why, but I always did. But anyway, one day the teacher said to us, I have an announcement to make. I have an invitation for the whole class. I'm getting married, and you're all invited to the wedding. So let's say the wedding was going to be in 2 weeks from the day she made the announcement. Okay, yeah, wedding. To this day, in 2025, that is the only wedding I've ever been to in my life. I've never been to a wedding as an adult. Never. Not complaining, just stating fact. That being said, okay, the class decided to throw her a surprise party. What could possibly go wrong with a bunch of 11 and 12-year-olds throwing a surprise party in the 1970s in 6th grade? Well, something very unexpected happened. We, as a class, really were meticulous about this. We planned it all out. We arranged that all of our mothers would make some kind of cake, cookies, or some kind of treat for the party. On the day of the party, which was a Friday, we asked one of the upper class teachers, an 8th grade teacher, Miss Jones. We asked Miss Jones to take our teacher to the mall on the pretext of looking for some kind of furniture, just so she'd be out of the school and to keep her a little bit over the regular lunch period, whether it was 35 or 45 minutes. We wanted her away a little longer because we had to set up the room. So, okay, great. Lunch comes. Miss Jones takes our teacher, Miss Smith, out to the mall. We gobble down our lunch. And then some of the mothers were coming to class, which was highly unusual. In fact, I don't remember it ever happening. They were coming to the school in the middle of the day with the cake that they baked. Now, my mom never drove, so she wasn't going to be coming. But luckily, my friend's mom, who lived on our block up the street, was tight, and she brought my stuff in. And yeah, everybody got their cake. It was all lined up. It was great. We thought, what could possibly happen? We did it. We pulled it off. So 1 o'clock comes. Here comes Miss Smith back into the class. Bum, bum, bum. Surprise! We all scream. And she goes, oh my God, I never expected this. You caught me totally off guard. This is great. There's just one problem. I'm leaving. What? You're what? Yeah, I can't stay. I got to go get a blood test. I got to get the marriage license. Guys, I appreciate this. You have no idea how much I do, but I can't stay. And out she went. 1 o'clock. So for 2 hours, my 6th grade sat and ate cake, cookies, candy, ice cream, soda, non-freaking stop. With no adults. Nobody came in to check on us. I can't believe we were left unattended for 2 hours to party like it's the 1970s. But we did. Now, the epilogue. It was a Friday, and I remember I was going to my aunt's house in the Bronx after the party. I wasn't going to jump on a bus. I don't think I jumped on the bus right from school. I'm almost certain I took my books home, changed my clothes, took off my tie and jacket, and put on, t-shirt and jeans. Then took the public transportation bus to the George Washington Bridge bus station, just over the bridge. And I do remember that my aunt was waiting for me in the bus station because she worked on 5th Avenue. She grabbed the subway up, number 1 train, got off there, waited for me. She knew where I was coming out, from what bus I was coming in on. And then from there, we took the 36, which took the longest, most circuitous route to where she lived in the Bronx. It took an hour and a half on the 36 to get there. But just as we're getting near our stop, all of a sudden little Joe doesn't feel so good. Little Joe ate a little too much cake and candy. And I said to my aunt, I said, listen, I'm going to be sick. I'm legit going to be sick right now. Ding, ding. We pulled the cord. Bus stopped. The 2 of us hopped off. We didn't even wait for our stop. We got off like 1 or 2 stops ahead of time. Cute Joey took care of business, and I think you know what I mean. And then we were on our way back to the apartment, and I felt fine. But yeah, that was such an enjoyable experience. My 6th grade teacher's wedding party. We really, really had a good time. I mean, that almost made up for an entire year of hell in the 5th grade. But like I said, that 6th grade teacher was great. She took us on trips. She took us on a class trip. I don't know if you guys went on class trips or not when you were in grammar school or middle school. Some of our teachers took us, some of them didn't. But yeah, that's it for the life story today. Guys, I'm Crazy New York Driver. You're not. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it informative, enjoyable, likable, entertaining, mishy-gots, and comments, questions, concerns below, and I will see you next week. Rock on and peace, and I hope you make a lot of money on eBay this week.